Hello on our YouTube, this is Lewis Anatrans, aka LM25, aka Lewis JM. I want to discuss about something that's been bothering me a little recently, and I just want to share with you people about it before I come to any conclusions. Now, as most of you know, most of my videos on my YouTube channel is focused on video game arcades. Now there are some that are good, some that are okay. Hotel arcades, we had indoor arcades, we had theme park arcades. Basically the stuff I want to do to show people what they're missing and see if they're interested or not. But under a couple of good successes, I had a few issues with three particular arcade revenues that's been a big thorn to my side in some ways. Three of them, and it mostly involves the use of non-photography, non-videography, and whatnot. Now, the first one is pretty much a recent one that I was gonna do at the end of September. Seeing the Sands Casino in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, there's a place called Cyberquest. Now, Cyberquest is pretty much like a big time arcade, sort of like Dave and Buster's in a way, but it also has like a little kids zone area, which is called Kids Quest or Cyber Kids or whatever they call it, which pretty much the parents drop their kids off and they can play whatever they want, do their little paintings and karaoke's and playgrounds and whatnot. Now, I was thinking about doing a walkthrough, but first I have to scout the area before I begin. So I took a picture of the sign at the middle of the little outlet mall in the Sands Casino. Then I took a picture of the front. Now honestly, those are like from the outside. Nothing inside, nothing related. I haven't started the inside yet, but I want to give it a shot. So I walked around, checked the area out, see if it's good. Has a lot of good, interesting arcades. Well, a few arcade games. The rest of it's pretty much redemption stuff. But then recently, and don't take this wrong, some guy stopped me. It was pretty much a father of a young kid, and he's telling me that if I was a kid, I looked at him strangely, like, really? I'm not a kid. I'm just kidding around. But then he just complains and telling me that why am I taking a picture of his kid? That's right. He thought I was taking a picture of his kid. I took a picture of the outside. I didn't see any kids in there. In fact, the place was completely empty before I even noticed. It was a bit of a rough one, and he keeps on badgering me over and over and over again. Upon which I apologized to him many times, and say that I didn't take a picture of his kid. But then one of the employees there told me that I wasn't allowed to take photos. I asked him if I allowed to take videos. He said no, so I was okay with that. But then there was one huge thing there, because I started showing pictures to prove that I wasn't taking a picture of kid, and you know what they told me? They told me to delete the picture. I'm not kidding. They told me to delete the picture of the outside, and I did that. Now, I know the rules and regulations state that there's no photography or videography inside. That picture was outside, and I had to delete it because they think it's wrong, and that's just stupid on 6 billion levels. I had to have my dad present with me after dinner just so I can take a picture of the outside again. Yeah, really, I'm not kidding. Now this is now despite the little farther argument, I this is the one issue I have, the big serious issue, that some arcade areas restrict people from recording videos of their places or photography of their places because they think that we're stealing things or trying to share ideas to like competitions, competitive arcades in a way, which I wasn't doing any, and I never have any issue with it. Now this isn't the first time. There's two other places early in my YouTube career that they won't allow me to do videos. The second one, which is the first example, was Dave and Buster's. Now we all know Dave and Buster's. We all know how big deal it is. It's a big restaurant slash arcade establishment. Wide variety of games, depending if it's new school, old school, redemptions, shooters, racers, dance games, music games, whatever. And of course they've already installed a new sporting area for people to watch sports. So yeah, big plus on that. Now back in the day, I did start recording the arcade in Times Square, New York City. And you can see it for yourself. It's in the earlier stages. Do a quick search of my Times Square walkthrough. And the security guard told me to. But then when I was just about finishing, the security guard told me to stop recording because they don't allow video recordings. Now, to be fair, he did say that I was allowed to take pictures, and I did take pictures the other time. So yeah, I'm okay with that. But now, recently, I did take more pictures of Dave and Buster's earlier this year in the summertime, and they said I wasn't allowed to take pictures, period. Now, this is quite a bit of a conundrum, even for me. Because when I was in the Dave & Buster's at the Dolphin Mall in Miami, Florida, I recorded the whole thing, and no one didn't stop me. But then so I was thinking, it's New York City, they had a little issue with the terrorists and 9/11 and all, so I let that slide. But then I went to Nyack, New York, and they have a Dave & Buster's in the Palisades Mall. So I did the thing I usually do. I do my recording. I walked around. I checked. I showed off about a quarter of the arcade. It's a big arcade, mind you, and it's pretty impressive. But then, security guard came to me. He asked me what I was doing. I told him I was doing the recording for a YouTube channel for free publicity and whatnot, and he said I wasn't allowed. Yeah, you heard me. I wasn't allowed to do video walkthroughs, nor photography in any way. I was a little confused as to why they want to do that, and it was concerned about what's been going on. So earlier on this week, I was at Palisades again, and I decided to head down to the counter, ask if I'm allowed to do video walkthroughs, and the manager, he told me that I wasn't allowed. So I explained to him, asked him nicely why. His answer is quite simple, that most of the arcade games were sole properties of Sega and Namco. And in order for me to do a complete walkthrough, that I was supposed that Dave & Buster's would have to ask permission to the two corporations before they give the okay. I was like, really? Well, this isn't what I said, but I can understand that some areas don't allow arcades without permission. But let's be frank. Of the many arcade walkthroughs I've done, no one stopped me because they need permission from the video game companies. Now, if that's a little messed up, I don't know what is. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The third example is by far the worst of the worst. In Florida, near Fort Lauderdale, near Hollywood, Florida, there was an establishment known as Boomers. Now, Boomers is the end-all, be-all of arcades. It had huge arcade assembly of new and old school. A roller coaster on the outside that's just been decommissioned, but it's still there for some bizarre reason. Mini golf course, indoor amusement parks, rock climbing walls, the whole 20 yards. It reminded me so much of Sports World back in Paramus, New Jersey, when I usually go there from time to time before they shut that down and turned into a furniture shop. Now, I did a walkthrough of this as well. I mean, it was going to be a bit of a long stretch, but I was going to show off everything and anything I could get my lens on. But as I was doing it, someone stopped me and told me that I wasn't allowed to do video and photography. Confused, I sent an email later on that day, explaining that I was doing a video walkthrough for free publicity, so that way they can bring people in and let them enjoy what they were witnessing. They gave me a response a day later, and it was a confusing one. I got it right here. This is the response from the Gmail account. It's a bit of now it's a little bit of it's been cut off, but for what I've been reading, because as per their company policy and copywritten laws, they don't allow any type of filming on their establishment without a signed contract. That's right, a signed contract, specifically outlining the type of filming requested. They also they also charge a location fee for the use of their park, and it depends on the length of the video and the use of shot and all that other stuff. So I not only do I have to sign up a contract, but I have to pay them up front to do my video walkthrough. David, do I look like I'm rich? But here's the thing that boils me over. They say that they're a privately owned company, and any and business must be approved by them to protect the employees and guests. Privately owned company, a privately owned corporation. Now, I got a question for that. If your establishment that has arcades, amusement parks, and just about everything else is a privately owned corporation, then why are you opened to the public? This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any lick of sense. Period. Look, those three arcades have become a pain in my ass. First Dave & Buster's, then Boomers, and now Cyberquest. They're telling me that they're pretty much privately owned. They don't allow video or photos inside their establishment, and because they believe that I'm ratting them out for other corporations, or as in per the Cyberquest issue, that I'm a stalker of children. I'm none of them. I'm a YouTuber. I do videos for arcades, and along the way I just put little videos of other places I've been to, videos of transformation videos, and a lot of random stuff that I do believe I would like to share to the public. Now, I never had this issue on all the other places. Arcade areas like Yesterday's in Red Bank, Silverbar Pinball Museum in Asbury Park, the Insert Coins in Las Vegas, which I've posted up a few weeks back if you want to see it. Pretty much anything that's an old school related. They allow me to do video recording because all the arcades are like antiques for the gaming community. I I did like arcades of amusement parks such as the Disneyland in Paris, along with the arcades in Disney World that I still need to post up, and Universal Studios, and none of them stopped me. Same thing goes with the hotels, as I did the recordings and I wasn't halted due to the fact. Hell, I did Disney Quest, which has 5 floors of arcades and rides indoors. I'm gonna be posting up a 5-parter of the 5 floors later on in the near future, and no one stopped me from doing that. But these 3, Dave & Buster's, Boomers, Cyberquest, they won't allow me to do it because they think it's wrong. Look, let's be frank. I'm no snitch. I'm no rich person. I'm no stalker. I'm none of the above. I'm a YouTuber and I do recordings videos. That's what we all do. We share our videos to the masses and let them know what they see. And it baffles me to see that some places are restrictive. Now, granted, I can understand it's an invasion of privacy. Hell, I never think I've seen anyone doing a recording of that 9/11 museum, and I can understand why. But there needs to be some barriers that need to be broken. Everyone, we gotta let people know that we're not doing anything wrong. That we are enjoying what we love to do. That we like to record things that people will be interested in. And I want people to be interested in those 3 places, because those are like big time hits right there. Something has to be done. Something has to be fixed. What we need to do, if anyone believes that in this channel believes that those 3 corporations shouldn't do this to YouTube, to video recorders like us, and would like us to have to record it without any restrictions or any use of contract signing, payment, or people believing that we're stalking children, then let's do it. Let's show them that we are doing just for fun, just for amusement, just for a hobby, and that's what it's all about. No payments, no contracts, no stalking, just a hobby. That's how it is. If anyone believes, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who wanted to do video recordings in Dave & Buster's or any other places, believes that this is wrong and this needs to be fixed, comment me below, like me, send me a video response, anything. Cause let's face it, those three corporations, they messed up, and if any of them, even Boomers, fails to bring in an audience and shuts down because all of us never have a chance to show people what they're missing, what they're seeing in the video, it's all their fault.